Okie dokie. Downwards we go, onwards for honor and glory. And hopefully we can get at least a nice base of piety sooner rather than later, specifically so we can start calling in briar patches, briar bushes. Protective buddy plants is what it all comes down to. Just because that, I mean, we're going to keep harping on the speed thing, but it is kind of the be-all end-all of an early Spriggan game. So that compared or combined with our speed should leave us in a very, very sweet spot. Ooh, and mushrooms. Mushrooms are friends. I've never thought about that. Haven't played Fedhas enough in the latest version with our sleep cat buddies. So sorry I murdered one of your family members. Water under the bridge, right? No hard feelings or anything, I would hope. There we go. We're starting to get to the stage now where we can more reliably kill things as they approach, so it definitely speeds up the process all in all. Probably shouldn't have just kept firing blindly into the swarm of bees that came our direction, but hey, it all worked out, so how could it have possibly have been the incorrect decision, right? Also not paying super close attention to robes, but doing an armor search will have very few results at this stage in the game, and it's looking like nothing too critical was left behind. Oh, no. +4 sling of electrocution. 31% chance to charm you. Unfortunately, I think it's pretty much our only shot here. 31% chance to turn you into a basilisk, golden eye, or wyvern. Well, might be the end. Oh, it's not yet. Unfortunately, this buddy is still going to be very scary. I'd like to take them out because I would actually love to be using that electricity sling in my own hands here. So, hopefully, that becomes a possibility. Another thing is I did not do as promised, did not start identifying through our stuff here. Feel a bit more experience. Is Joseph still just murdering things off screen for us here? If so, thank you, buddy. That doesn't really make sense. I mean, I know our own summons don't attack off screen. Maybe the same is not true for charmed monsters. Maybe they still follow monster logic more so than player logic in that regard. Regardless. Oh, you know, I chose my 7 stack of scrolls, not even noticing that we had a 9 stack. Turned out to be ID, but I thought that was our highest count here. Whoopsie daisies. Well, let's try to get some of our healing selections available. At least curing is nice. Maybe do one more if we just have a 3 stack. Actually, how many more ID do I have? 4 more. In that case, we'll do our other 3 stack. Hope for heal wounds. Don't get it, of course. But that's still not too much of a problem. I'm guessing the 9 stack is teleport. Be wild if it wasn't. But that seems like a relatively safe bet. White is wielding a vampiric halberd. Very fancy. Oh. Joseph is almost dead as well. And Gastronog is here. That's very bad. Airstrike is gonna hurt like a son of a gun. Huh. If I could get one step closer with relative safety. 7% chance to charm our snail friend here. I guess additionally, could just try to poison you. 69% chance to hit is pretty fantastic. I'm hoping that's enough poison. Did Joseph die there? Feel a bit more experience. Does look like Joseph did indeed pass or succumb to the poison in their system, so that's wonderful. I could just slow you extra hard, Gastro. And then as long as I'm next to walls, airstrike isn't the end of the world. I still pretty much die in one shot here, don't get me wrong, but that just sounds like your average day as a Spriggan, really. So let's just bounce this buddy at max range as much as we can. Oh, there's the airstrike. Yep. Hurt about as much as we expected here, so that's fine. I will pick up the Sling of Electrocution. Then let's actually just head upstairs so I don't accidentally turn a corner directly coming face to face with our new friend. On the other hand, I think we do swap over to the Sling for now. Attack delay will be nice and quick. +4 Electrocution is a pretty sweet brand for early on here. I don't mind that whatsoever for the moment. Ooh, Spellbook has Airstrike. A little bit of Airstrike of our own if we so desired. Oh me oh my. Quicksilver Wand on you, hey friend? I mean, Quicksilver Wand is at least relatively low range. Oh, not if you do that though. Stop that. Oh, dum. Okay, need to take this one a little bit on the slow side, just taking every precaution we can here. You know what? No, once you get that close to us, I think options are fairly limited. We'll just finish off the fight. Fortunately, works out for us, though a few nasty hits from the Quicksilver would have very quickly brought an end to our success there. Ooh, and there we go. We do finally get an amulet. Also, fortunately, the net misses us there. I need to remember that these Sons of Guns have nets available, so that's always going to be a bit of a danger as well, taking away our greatest advantage in our movement speed. But hey, that is totally fine. Secondary Dex Ring. You know, early days, I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of willpower checks, so I'm going to swap over. Just getting a bit of additional damage here. Base damage of 19, or damage rating, I should say. Not too shabby. Okie dokie. And hopefully, with this decent early start, we can kind of continue to blitz our way through the majority of this section of the game without too much of a care in the world, without too much to worry about. And beautiful. Hey, Dith, too little too late. You were also on my list of potential backups if we weren't able to find Oka. And a troll does not drop its skin, you selfish son of a gun. Well, at least we can outrun our shadowy pal here. And once again, just play that on the safe side. Probably won't go back to the same stairwell just because we know that the bees, oh gosh, not the bees, are awaiting us. And you know, speaking of, let's throw on our poison resistance and get blasting. And hopefully that will be enough to bring us through these times of crisis here. Not too bad. Oh, Mark Trap. Oh, hello, Marcus. Well, this might get a little bit topsy-turvy. In fact, just waiting out a few more turns. That should be enough now, so I think we'll dip in. Was teleportation in that final slot, so that's perfect. Ooh, Mark Trap is still active as we change positions here, but that's fine. And let's just take a few of these enemies up, make sure it's a salvageable number of combatants. And I guess now that we've shaken things up, should be able to maneuver through the rest of the floor. Hey, okay. Too little too late, my friend. You know, and even fighting the Centaur in a Ranger duel, probably not the best bet there. We're one of the few entities in the game that is actually faster than a Centaur by just a smidge. So probably would have been in our best interest to, you know, attempt to take advantage of that and just play it a little bit on the safe side. But regardless, here we are. And now, please, no skin. Troll leather armor is going to be pretty much a standard on our side as soon as we find it for a decent chunk of the game here. Regen doesn't hurt whatsoever, and on top of that, we just don't have very many options made available to us. There's the potential that we could swap into like a Dragon Scales by late game, but I'm not sure how much I like that idea, especially if we can never get to a point where we can not have any detriment to our ranged attacks. And I do feel like we'll always have a bit of a detriment to our range attacks just because... There we go. Just because our strength is so low that we're going to be struggling against that. Do I just drop my regular bow for now? It is just straight up worse in every way. I guess like base damage is better, so technically at a certain stage of the game it will scale. And in fact, actually not even just technically at a stage of the game. Right now, if we ignore electrocution, the +4 sling is already worse. But of course with that electrocution chance, probably lean towards that way, especially combined with the slightly faster speed on that son of a gun. Let's do it. Yeah, let's drop it for now. And Steam Dragon Scales. Let's try these buddies on for size, shall we? Doesn't seem to be slowing our attacks here, so we can take the little bit of additional armor class, much better than we could normally come to expect at this early day. That is wonderful. Hello, Nem. My card throwing friend, and not too shabby, all things considered. We still haven't found our lair entrance, but we do have Orc. It's a bit of an interesting toss-up as to where we should land on those. Steam Dragon Scales are 0 encumbrance, so they should always be better than a robe, right? I believe so, yeah. I mean, definitely with the 0 encumbrance. I guess even, yeah, so they're equivalent to a robe. You know, that makes sense. Take a week off, and all of a sudden, all of my DCSS game sense is just completely thrown out the window. Okay, well, but we'll just wait for that teleport to take place as we put ourselves in a little bit of a corner trying to kite on an unexplored floor. Guess that was kind of a good exhibit A as to why we don't really want to rely on our kiting when we first enter a new area. But hopefully our evasion helps with these sons of guns. We do hit 16 ranged weapons, so even if we do swap back to a short bow in the near future here, have that available at min delay. So that's just wonderful. Invocations will come on to try and get us some of Fedhas' abilities fully castable. And where do we go from here? I guess we have a few wands, so we could train some Evo while we're at it too. More fighting, even with our lackluster health, is still a decent idea in terms of our overall survivability. And you know, dodging as well, we can probably afford to turn back on. Again, it'll train super quickly. So let's just see how that goes, shall we? And there we go. Fantastic. Managed to clear our foothold as well as clear our initial entry into lair, so that is just fantastic. Hello, my sheepish friends. Even though not really, more bovine than sheep-like, but regardless, here we are. And not too shabby. 2 fuming yellow potions. You know, let's make some room by just IDing a few things here, maybe even finding a couple of useless things, like said Scroll of Noise. Wonderful. Maybe this potion is Heal Wounds. It is. Fantastic. And we'll probably drop that noise. I'm going to hold off for the moment here, just in case. Oh. Huh. +5 Ring of Evasion, hey? You don't say. I mean, if nothing else, it was a good opportunity to remind us that I'm still wearing my poison resistance ring, so whoops. I'm curious, 5 evasion versus 6 dex. 6 dex gives us 1 more evasion, and we go up to a damage rating of 20. If we instead put on this bad boy, 18 damage rating with 29 evasion, I think we will lean that way for the moment here. Get a bit of extra defensive capability over the slight increase in attack power. And first Hydra, wait, and a bird? What the heck are the Tengu doing here? This isn't your territory, this isn't your turf, you son of a gun. Well, mosquitoes shouldn't be the end of the world. I am looking at this map and I'm seeing very, very limited hallway space. So that is a bit on the unfortunate side. Okay, maybe this doorway is about as good as it gets. We'll hold our ground here. Okay, we do manage to take out the Hydra, which I guess I make a bit of a face, but is not really on the surprise side of things. Again, Hydras we shouldn't have too much trouble with. I mean, for you, friend, we definitely need to just stay at max range, make sure that not a single stone arrow comes our direction, otherwise we will very quickly become a green splatter on the floor of this hereby dungeon. But that is fine because fortunately things don't go down that way, and we can instead just keep on living our best life here. And more unID'd potions. Eeny, miny, miny, mo. Torment scroll. Meh. Could definitely find some use for it in the future, but at the moment here, not too I don't know, opinionated one way or the other. And unfortunately, these hallways are not long enough for us to take full advantage against our winged friend here. In fact, I think we're just gonna have to retreat for now, especially if we want to find this gauntlet, which obviously I'd prefer. Very distant beating drums. So with that in mind, let's start heading far left. Is definitely in the cards for me here. Wow. Well, there it is. Beautiful. We'll keep our willpower, keep our poison resistance. What can I drop off here for now? Magic mapping, amnesia, even enchant weapon can probably hit the dirt for the time being. I guess brilliance, noise, and what else? That's the main thrust of it. Everything else is at least some preferred use. I guess I didn't need to do quite as much auto pickup set up on throwing weapons, since hopefully we never have to resort to such a thing. Oh gosh. Overall, not the end here, but I don't love the idea of just how tight the spaces are in the gauntlet. Especially, this buddy is too fast. Extremely fast is a problem for sure. This buddy has fire clouds, so that's less than ideal to say the least. What else are we dealing with? Spectral Lindworm at least can outrun you. I don't know. I guess we'd like very technically have enough room to do so. These sons of guns. Fire breath at 3d10. Oh gosh. Sun attack of multi-fire or rapid fire multi-hiccup. Stop that. I don't think we can deal with those sons of guns. If I had just gone a fire resistant source before coming in here, then there'd be a chance. I guess I could try to just outrun them and sprint my way through this area, dodging and weaving behind the pillars. It's not the worst thing. It just means that I probably won't be able to get that ring in a safe manner unless we get stupidly lucky with their pathing and they do something incredibly short-sighted. And lastly, I think we'd pretty much have to go in this left one. We technically can outrun everything on the right side here, but It's a bit crowded. I don't know how many of these were actual death yaks versus just kind of super shadow image. All of them. All of them is the answer. So yeah, I'm worried that we just don't have enough space with the sheer number of tiles that the enemies take up. Very similar to this one here. Yes, you kids have 21 health, 14 damage. Only 17% chance to hit me is not terrible. Oh my gosh, am I going to actually talk myself into this? Oh no, because this room also has a death scarab. Torinski, what the heck are you doing with your life?